Are we live? I think we are.
I don't know. I'm not even on yet.
Okay. Yeah, that was weird. I made a mistake there and I clicked the wrong thing, but hopefully that didn't mess anybody up. I have a feeling we're going to have very low attendance today because I just clicked one wrong button.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because people are going to get the notification for that one and then immediately get a notification for another one. It's going to be weird. We'll have to see. But I hope it doesn't mess things up. Hey, everybody. How is everyone doing? Thank you, Leslie Perry. Looks like she was the first one to get in here to let us know that the audio and video is good. Jack said the same thing. Listen, folks, big, exciting news.
Oh.
What?
I just dropped my pen. It's no big deal.
Oh,
I don't need to write a letter.
You can use that one. I got another one here for you.
It's fine. Thank you.
The new YouTube studio building at our new property has a floor.
Woohoo.
I just 30 seconds ago got the picture. He just sent me a quick picture of it, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yay.
And it's so wild because it was a downright miserable experience removing all of that.
It really was.
It was rough.
Yeah.
And the dust and the sand and to now look at it and it's got this glorious concrete floor.
It's so weird to look at because to me it almost looked like a building with water in it, like murky.
That's because it's still wet. Yeah.
Yeah.
When he sent me the picture, which I then sent to you, he said he had just finished it. Like he had just walked out and took that picture.
That's crazy because there's been so many storms coming up the East Coast. I am like surprised.
But that was one of the things that he said to me when he came to give me the estimate. He said, this is going to be a good one because this could be a bad weather day job because it's all indoors.
Oh.
And usually they're out in the middle of a field somewhere putting in concrete. So he was actually happy about that. I mean, as long as it's not like gusts of wind blowing the rain through the door,
right,
then I guess it's all okay. So, yeah, super excited about that because that was the primary hurdle that was holding us up from anything. Now I just have to wait a little bit because I do want to cover that floor with an epoxy or something like that prior to taking aquariums in there. So it's still going to be a while before really anything happens with the floor. But we don't plan on moving the tanks until the 6th of May anyway. I think that's the 6th. So we got some time.
Moving the tanks and all that kind of good stuff. Yeah,
the fun that'll be. Starting to try to gather up an army of people because that's how many it's going to take. We'll see how that happens. I think I've got an army assembled here. Down there, not so much because we don't know anybody down there.
Just a couple people.
I was thinking, Kannapolis and Mooresville and what's the other place? Kernsville, I think is the other place where all the NASCAR drivers live. I figured maybe I'd give them all a call.
Right,
they're all in good shape, guys,
Of course, and they would definitely be willing to help.
Maybe I'll call my good friend Dale Earnhardt Jr. and I'll say, Dale, could you send your pit crew over? Because they're like big, strong guys. Right. Send your pit crew over. 6 guys, take care of this stuff in no time at all.
I'm starting to think you might want to talk to the concrete guys.
Oh, I'm telling you.
You know what I'm trying? His guys, the concrete guys.
Hey, I might do it. I mean, I might, because he's quite literally him and our realtor are the only people we know down there.
Yeah.
So, and she ain't gonna lift too many aquariums. No. Our realtor. So, but anyway,
she is awesome. All I can say is we got really lucky with this realtor. She goes above and beyond. Do you know, she went and fed Jasper yesterday. She could just be done with us and be like, see you later.
Does anybody want to? We showed the members yesterday, but I can show a picture of Jasper. People are like, who's Jasper? Well, Jasper is a new friend.
Oh, it's just our kid we left down there for,
Jasper is a female cat that has the name Jasper. Yeah. We didn't name her, but she came with the house.
Yep.
So she's that's me and her spending a little time there on the porch hanging out. So Jasper is going to be a new member of the family.
Okay.
Yep.
While we're gone.
The other big news, super big news, and I waited so long to talk about this in the member stream yesterday, and it was a mistake. Spent quite a bit of time obsessing and working very, very diligently on a complete, from top to bottom, redesign of our website. Hopefully all of you beautiful people have had a chance to go over there and take a look at it. I really do want your feedback on the website. I really want to know what the people think. I've had sorry, I looked at the chat and Leslie Perry says, I love you even more now you pronounced realtor correctly.
Realtor.
The people that say realtor need to be taken out into a field. And you know what's worse than that, Leslie Perry? Is the new trend, and I don't know if it's hit the country, but when our kids were in elementary school, the teachers calling it elementary. Welcome to Sealston Elementary School.
Elementary.
The teachers saying that.
For some reason, I still say elementary.
Elementary is fine, but elementary, like really accentuating that Terry part, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I don't know. Like Bologna.
You don't want to tell the story. But no, I really do want to get you all's feedback on the website, because I'm just not begging for praise. I just want to know what people think, because I think it is a dramatic improvement over what we had last time. I think the design I had last time was way better than the first design, but I think this one is way better than that one. I'm thrilled with it. I regularly just go on the site to look at it and say, I like that. So yeah, let me know. Paul Martin, being the beautiful man that he is, put the link in there. Somebody else may have put it in there before him too, and I missed it. I apologize. But if you take a look at that, let us know, and I'd love to get your feedback on that, because it's very important to me.
Delilah's Critters said something that I agree with so much, but I'm trying not to feel like I'm trying not to be negative about it. She said, people who leave pets with houses are worthy of a few choice words I have available in my vocabulary. And you know what? I have a problem with it too. And that's why I'm like, you know what? This is just going to be our new cat. I think their circumstances were a little different.
It wasn't their cat to begin with.
But it was their cat for like 5 years that they lived there, and they left it because it was there when they got there. I don't think two wrongs make a right, but on the other hand, I think I don't want to say negative stuff about them, because I don't think they're bad people, but I don't agree with leaving a pet behind. I want to take my Possum that I have come to my front porch. I want to trap Frank, and I want to take Frank with us to North Carolina. So I can't imagine leaving one of my cats or dogs, or I struggle with that one.
I mean, I completely agree. However, in this particular situation, it's going to work out pretty good for the cat. And
will.
Second of all, it wasn't their cat to begin with, so I don't blame them.
They had to leave and live somewhere else, like with friends for a little while. Their circumstances were a lot different than most people's, that just they move out of the house and then they just move into another house. But the husband had to move to another state for his job because of all of this, and they're trying to stick around for the son to graduate high school, sort of like our situation, but they had to do it at a friend's house, and there's 7 kids. Not all of them. I think there's like 5 that are going with them, but it's a lot of people, and then you're trying to take a cat. So But they knew. We told them when we were buying the house, we'll take the cat. So they were reassured that we were going to take care of the cat too. So
Yep.
there's that.
they were comfortable knowing that the cat was being left in good hands.
Exactly.
But yeah, back to the website.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I mean,
that is one
part of the
those,
conversation.
Yeah, it's one of those things I feel bad about.
I totally get it. And again, we get another cat out of it, which we definitely need more. But yeah, super exciting. I mean, those two things. And then I got a little other bit of good news today. We are one step closer to getting the 300 beta tanks that are being sent to us. Had them manufactured in China because we didn't want to take out a second mortgage to get them made in the U.S. And it's unfortunate, but it's part of the deal. If you're going to have something manufactured in China, it's going to take you a long time to get it because they ship it by way of a ship, a boat. And so it's always going to take at least 30 days. But at least it is shipped. It is, either on the boat now, sitting there waiting for the boat to be full or whatever it is. But they're on their way. So that is really exciting.
I feel like they're still in that position on the boat where the crew are still looking out at their family waving, bye.
It could be, or it could be that moment won't happen for another 3 weeks because the boat's not full. Hopefully, these tanks went into the very last container to be put onto the ship.
They're the first to take off.
And it's boom, gone. Yeah, last one on, first one off. I really hope that is the case, but we don't know that, and of course we don't. So I'm expecting those to get here 30 to 35 days or so from now. So that's exciting. It's going to be kind of a mad rush at the end, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to have the beta system done prior to moving in. My goal is to have that, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have that yet. I am going to be taking some... we're going to shift all of our fish over into the Beanie Baby tanks so that I can take the ones that we currently have down there and start working on building that system using the tanks that we already have, because the new ones that I got made are the exact same size as the ones we're using now.
That's so cool too.
Identical carbon copies of these. So I'm going to be able to get started on it, but I don't know if it's going to be done right away. And then right around that time is when I'm going to be ready to start painting the floor and moving the tanks in. It's going to be crazy. But it's exciting, and I can't wait for it. So all that good news, along with the new website and everything else, I'm a happy guy right now. Yeah. Overwhelmed, but happy. Yes. You see also, things are looking a little different on the old set here. I've started packing up this room to take everything out. So there's no pictures behind me. Sorry, Multi-Tank Addiction, had to take that down. But,
I have so many boxes all over the floor throughout the house. It's like walking through a maze because I start packing, but I can't officially close the box up and tape it up until everything of that particular item is in there, because I'm very weird about packing. It has to be specific stuff in a box, not just a bunch of stuff thrown in a box. Ugh.
Completely agree. Needs to be organized.
Leslie Perry, I need to know about this society. You're going to have to message me or email me about it, because I need to know about this society. I had no idea there was a possum society. Need to know about it. Need to know. Details, please.
All right, so here's what's going to happen here. I'm going to point at you, Lisa Marie.
I was reading that.
And when I point at you, you have to say, "Get on up." And into the microphone, loud and proud. Ready?
Okay.
Get up.
Is that right now? Mm-hmm. Get on up.
Get up.
Get on up.
Stay on the scene.
Get on up.
Like a fish machine.
Get on up.
That is the super chat from Rico Stan today.
Oh,
where that is
Rico.
a James Brown song. Come on.
Oh.
It's Sex Machine is the song.
Okay.
But I don't, is that what the name of the song is? But he changed it to Fish Machine. See what's happening
Cute.
there? Thank you, Rico, for that.
Paul Martin is asking, where would you like people to send their feedback about the new website?
Right here in the chat in this stream. Right
Or
now.
even the comments afterwards if you're a replay crew.
Yeah, that's completely fine. Okay. Anyway, you can send it here. You can. I mean, it's the best way. What I was hoping for when I actually said that, Paul, was to get feedback from people in here right now. I don't want it to just be, hey, it looks great. If there's something that you see that you don't like, let me know. I'm not going to be embarrassed. I am the website is never not a work in progress. So there's things that I'm constantly looking at and making little changes and all of that kind of stuff. And so don't be afraid to give constructive criticism. I'm a strong guy. I got a real hard shell. I can take it. Forgot to mention Jacob became a member in the very beginning and has a cat in his avatar, so you will love that person.
Yeah. M Street said, why does James Brown ever?
I mean, I'm not going to argue with you there. It's a fact.
I
Yeah.
didn't. At first, I had no idea what we were doing. That's why I was like, what?
The movie Get On Up is very good. Ligate 12, wife and kids are out of town, so it's just me, the Oscars, and KG Tropicals. Best night ever.
Oh, your poor wife. She's probably, she wouldn't even know you said that.
You know, she might be missing you right now, Ligate, and be like,
Oh.
you know, I want to go on that stream because I know he's there. And then that just happened.
Yeah.
Sydney White also sent in a super chat, but then there was a retracted message. Not sure what that said.
Uh-oh.
Maybe she was saying something mean about the website. I'm joking. Love the look of the website. Can I keep two male stingrays together for life? I have one male pup at the moment and want to get him a friend. I've never known that to be a problem, Alice. My two were males. I had two Matoros. Yeah. So, and they never bothered each other. I don't know that. I'm certainly no stingray expert, but in my experience, I never had any kind of aggression from stingrays to each other or anything else for that matter. So I don't see that it would be a problem. But I might not be the one to ask because I am no expert. Someday I would love to have them again. Let me say that again. I will have them again because they're just so amazing. But I might not be the best resource for information about them. But if you ask me, I don't think it's a problem.
Lady Rorschach said a black and white themed tank would be stunning at Oinkmaster Supreme. And wouldn't Rustic Nashville know? Because she's got so many of my female white betas and the black crown tails that she could tell you. She should probably start some kind of a Facebook page with her sororities.
Black and white fish.
It's like having...
If it's fish, that's one thing. If it's the tank, decorating the tank black and white, that could be done too.
I think the fish being black and white and like just a heavily planted tank with just like greenery everywhere, all the greenery with the black and white fish. That's pretty.
I don't disagree, but I also think black and white fish in that tank behind you would look really good too. I mean, the black ones might not be seen in camera, but they would be seen. I don't know, but I immediately think of mollies. Black mollies, white mollies, and Dalmatian mollies.
Yeah.
Have all three of them. I think that would be really, really cool. Kevin and Lisa's son lost all his fish due to a disease, possibly columnaris. What's the best way to sanitize a 55-gallon deheater decor to make it safe for... This old man has a hard time using numbers for words. To make it safe for fish, what about live plants? So if it were me, what I would probably do, we have not battled columnaris in maybe ever. I don't know. It's not something we've ever had to deal with in a big tank anyway.
Right.
I would remove the plants. I would put them in something if you're that worried about it. And I don't blame you for being that worried about it. I would just completely sanitize everything with something like a bleach. And I know that sounds barbaric. I know that's like, whoa, aren't you going to kill everything? Well, yeah, that's kind of the point. That is kind of what sanitize means. I would sanitize the heater in bleach. Obviously, I'm not going to pour a bucket of Clorox in with fish in there and everything. I'm saying take the plants out because obviously the bleach will not be good for those. You said he lost all his fish, so I'm assuming there's no fish in there. So that's not going to be a problem. And I would just clean it thoroughly with bleach and then rinse it out even more thoroughly. Basically, in my experience, because I have cleaned aquariums with bleach, not from Columnaris, but I have cleaned them with bleach. You basically rinse it until there's no more suds coming off is what the way I do it. And then I rinse it a little bit more, including the substrate and everything else. And then I would let it run for probably a few weeks before putting fish back in it. That's the way I would do it. There may be a way of sanitizing plants. I'm not aware of such a thing. One of the plant experts would be somebody that better to ask for that about that. But I don't know. I don't know what you would do with the plants. I mean, my thoughts would be just maybe rinse them out in chlorinated water thoroughly and then put them back in. And I would think everything would be okay. But
I hope that doesn't happen to the ones I've done. I've started scaping and keeping, finally keeping plants alive in and being able to do it awesome because that would be so horrible. I mean, that's why I would just be very cautious and quarantine those fish before you put them in. Not saying that they didn't do that to begin with, but it's just, that would bother me a lot too.
Yeah, it's a drop of water, a drop of bleach and water for plants. There you go. I mean, I would focus most of my attention on the tank, but yeah, I hope we don't have to deal with that with any of our tanks.
Finally, we're keeping them alive.
Yeah.
Ellen Horcher said, Lisa, my beta Alex all of a sudden started terrorizing the other fish in the tank, but only after the lights go out for the night. Normal behavior? Never noticed him doing that before. Ellen, it sounds like Alex is a jerk and needs to be in his own tank. I mean, I don't think he's going to stop terrorizing the fish. It's probably going to continue on until he stresses them out so badly they die, or he just kills them. Because some betas just don't do well with others, so...
They don't call them fighting fish for a reason, or for no reason.
I'm sorry. You probably really like the setup too, but it just doesn't always work out the way we want it.
Leo 209 Aquatics says, what do you think of Brightwell plant substrate? Thinking of rescaping my Flex 15 and go a different route plant-wise, and 1 or 2 inches should be enough. We have not used personally the Brightwell substrates. However, I've got several aquascaping friends. Mike Aquascape, Aquapros, who I just spoke to today, as a matter of fact. He uses Brightwell and loves it. Flip Aquatics uses, and I think they may even sell Brightwell. They love it. I haven't talked to anyone who has said, oh no, that stuff's trash. I mean, it's good stuff. So I can't recommend it, but I can't not recommend it either. Personally, our experience has been with the Tropica substrate and the Fluval stratum. That's what we use the most, and they're both amazing. So, Fluval stratum's pretty expensive though.
Vibes Aquatics says at KG.
Did you say Vibes Aquatics?
Vibes Aquatics at KG Tropicals Coffee Time. At KG Tropicals Coffee Time. Y'all are legit. Keep fluid keeping in the hobby. Keep fluid keeping in the hobby. This coffee, I don't know where you got it, but we need to know. Vibes, you need to contact us and let us know where you got this coffee because it's so good. Oh my gosh. I love it.
Yes. Now, see, I got to be honest with you, Vibes Aquatics. I was unsure of your name. Thankfully, you wrote it on the bag that you gave. That's where you saw it, right?
Yeah.
because you weren't
and
there,
then I
obviously.
recognized who Vibes Aquatics was, and I was like, ah.
we had a full supply of coffee, so we didn't open it up until we didn't have a full supply anymore. I opened it up, and I am absolutely hooked. That stuff
Yeah, we
is
love it.
fantastic.
It's so good.
And I'm not just saying that because you were nice enough to give us a bag of it. One of the best gifts I've ever been given, because it is amazing. And I was on YouTube, or not YouTube, Google today looking to buy more of it. That stuff is amazing. Do you sell it? Does he sell it? I don't know.
I don't know.
But I need to know
We need to
because
know. We
that
need
stuff
to
is
know.
great. Real great.
Whitney Nyland said, I have a divided beta tank with black sand and white gravel in every other section. It's pretty. That sounds really pretty. It's a great idea to have, like, the black and white.
Absolutely. Matt Knowlton, I hope I'm saying your name right, just saw the new website update. And 2 thumbs up. Not 1, 2. It is the coffee is, I think it's either the brand or the title of it, like the model number. A Taste of San Antonio. I'll go get the bag later maybe and show it, but Vibes, put it in there so everybody can see it. You have my full blessing. You're not going to be able to post links because only mods can do that, but that, yeah. Go ahead and put the name of it up in the chat if you sell it. If not, if you just said, you know what, this is good coffee and I like John and I'm going to buy them some of it, if that's what happened there, you're the best. But if you have something to do with the distribution or the sale of that coffee, put the name of it in there so everybody can go buy it because it's worth it.
Yes.
It's got the flavor profile on it says cinnamon and chocolate, which I was like, but it works. It works really well. It's really, really good.
And we are not a sponsor of this coffee. We just highly recommend it.
I just love it. I love it. I would proudly take an endorsement from that coffee company. The fish guy became a member. Welcome to the team. And Melissa Jeswald said gave $10 for cat food.
Oh,
Very nice of you.
It's so nice.
Jasper is going to be a fat cat now.
Did you say Melissa?
Melissa
That
Jeswald.
is so sweet. She's going through so much with Jax, and I think she said, I saw that she had just wanted Jax. She had wanted to hopefully get Jax to 18 years old, and he got to 18 years old, and now he's just still going strong, and I really think a lot of her.
Of course.
For taking care
Of
of, like,
course
she
you do.
won't even go to places like Aquashella or something because she wants to make sure she's there with Jax. And I'm so happy that she's that kind of person, because some people would just leave their cat and be like, whatever.
Yeah, that is very sad. Danielle Grass, going to Hawaii for my honeymoon. Good for you. Say hi to the Rock when you're over there. In a couple of weeks. We'll be gone for a week. Never been away from my scale babies that long. Any tips to ease worries? First of all, it has been my experience that if you fed them real heavy before you left, it'd probably be okay without you feeding them. But we don't want to do that, do we? We don't want to let them go for a week without being fed, because you're going to worry about them the whole time you're there. The absolute best thing that you could do, what I would recommend that you do, is find somebody that is your friend, a neighbor, a relative, or somebody like that. It's your honeymoon. What is everybody going to be saying to you on your wedding day? They're going to be saying, if there's anything I can do, let me know. You can say, listen, I got something you can do.
Right.
Come by my house on Wednesday. I'll have food taped up to the side of the aquariums and feed my fish. That's how you do it. If they're a real good friend, maybe have them come twice in the week. But if you feel like that's too much to ask them, have them come in midway, whatever the midway point is, put the amount of food in that you want fed, put it in a Ziploc bag, tape it to the tank, and just tell the person all you have to do is take what's in there and dump it in, and then also make sure all of the fish are alive and everything's okay, and text me and let me know. That's what you want. So I hope that helps. And congratulations. That sounds like an exciting day coming up. Lefty says, free monthly chat. Woot. These young people in the way they talk.
I know.
So happy everything's going well with the house. Stop changing the site. You're confusing me. I memorized the old one, dang it.
Oh, yeah.
It is a complete departure from what it was before. Everything, the menu was on the side before, and now it's going across. Unless you're on mobile, then it's up in the top right corner. I know it's going to be this way for a good long time, probably a long time. I don't see any reason to change it. I mean, websites aren't really a go with the trends kind of thing. At least I've never seen it be that way. You know, you set it up the way you like it and the way that you think it's convenient and easy for your customers. And if it works, you stick with it. The last one was working, but I just wasn't satisfied with it. I felt like it had a little bit of a, dare I say, a childish kind of a look to it. And I just didn't like that. I went on that whole rant last week about people taking me seriously. I can't have a website that looks like Sesame Street. I need to have a real deal.
The only negative thing I have to say about the website myself
I know exactly what it's going to be.
I don't like how it shows my betas. Like anything that I had prior to him doing the website, redoing the website, all of the beta pictures it almost looks like, are they in there?
What are you looking for?
The pictures of the betas from up here?
Mm-hmm.
Are they? Okay. I'm going to give you an example.
I think, yeah, they're in there.
This is one of my favorite beta pictures. I love it because it just shows like some of the scales, some of the fin. It doesn't show the whole beta. But if you go on our website, you probably want to see the whole fish when you when you're looking at the picture. And some of them, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like just part of the beta, a little bit of scales, a little bit of fins. That's about it. You don't see the whole beta. And the reason why is because you might be able to explain it better than me.
The way the old website was, whatever picture we put up there, it would size it to that picture. So she could put a picture up that would be rectangle, and it would show the whole thing. It's the natural look of the photo. The new design, it's a 1x1, so it's like the same way an Instagram photo would be. So it is a square photo, and so what it ended up doing is cutting off a little bit of the fish. This is not a permanent thing. This is something that you know now what needs to be done.
Yeah, so everything I've been putting up since then has been fitted correctly, but not the old ones.
Yeah, some of the old ones, a little bit of the fish is cut off. We'll let it go that way, and if nobody buys them, we'll redo the pictures. Just big deal.
Look at them, click on them. Even if you can't see the whole beta, give it a chance. You know, if it's a female beta and you want a female beta, or if it's that kind of beta you want, you know, click on it because you're going to get the real picture of it once you click on it.
Yes, indeed.
And many more, not just that.
TK says, I really love my new Tidal 55 from you. High five. My tank was very cloudy. It cleared up after a few days of having it on. Thank you. Very, very nice. Give you a little suggestion, TK. Go ahead and do a service on that filter. What I mean is, if your tank was cloudy, there was probably a lot of little particles floating around in there that was causing it to look cloudy. Those are all now trapped in the sponge because the filter did its job. Go ahead and take those sponges out, squeeze them out a little bit, free it up a little bit. It's not that it's going to clog up super fast, but if it cleared it up that fast, then it's probably got a lot of stuff built in there. Go ahead and service that sponge. Be a good way to let it last you a little bit longer. But that's awesome. I love to hear that. We had the exact same scenario happen when I put one on your 125 with the goldfish in it. That those goldfish are slobs. It's a sand substrate. It was a disaster. Put a filter on there. Boom.
Yeah.
Like 24 hours later, done. It was crystal clear. So, yeah.
Matthew Goker asked, how do you determine whether to test pH or high range pH when using an API master test kit. How do you determine whether to, when you're first starting off, you're going to want to test your water. You're going to want to test the water that comes out of your tap, or, you know, the original water you're starting off with. You want to know what you're working with, for one, because that to me is what you're going to base on what kind of fish you're going to put in a tank, because you don't want to like chase the pH. You want to stick with what you kind of naturally have going on. But if you start adding stuff to your tank, like, oh, you want a bunch of driftwood, or maybe you like dark water looking, you want to throw catappa leaves in there, you should start testing your pH, because it's going to alter that pH that naturally comes out of your tap. And
I believe what that person's question was, I think you are 100% accurate with what you're saying. But I think you misunderstood the question a little bit.
Maybe I did.
The test kit has 2 pH tests on it.
Right.
Regular pH and high range. And so I believe what the person's asking is, how do you know which one you're supposed to use?
Okay, so like your regular pH, if it's up there high, that's when you want to go use your high range pH. If it's like not showing high pH, maybe more neutral, you don't need to worry about using your high range pH.
Exactly. Yeah, test it out. If it's
Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, you did a great job, but I wanted to make sure you knew that's what the person was asking. It's at least that's the way I read the question. But yeah, if it's basically top of the charts on the regular pH,
right, then
move on to the other one.
Yeah.
That's the way I've always done it anyway. Jennifer Anderson sounds like the lady from Friends. I bet you've never heard that before. Love the website. The beta page is amazing.
Oh, thank you. For him. I'm saying thank you from him. Thank you.
Yes, it is. So if you test your AMD and it's all zeros, AMD, if you test your I'm not reading that properly. Maybe you can decipher that. I don't know what that meant. Sydney White, is fluval, daggone it, is a fluval 207 good enough for South Americans? That completely depends on what tank it's on. And I think you sent another super chat in here. Yep, you did. First I'm a guy, not a she. Sydney, I apologize. But you know, my daughter's name is Skylar. That can go either way.
Yeah.
Her daughter's name is Jordan. That could go either way. You understand what I'm saying. No disrespect. I didn't mean that. All I did was say she. It's not like I was disrespectful. But anyway, first, I'm a guy, not a she. Secondly, 40-gallon breeder South American cichlids. I have a 207. I think that might be a little light. I don't have a 207. I've always used the 407s. Go ahead and find one, and I will do a quick little research here, because I believe
This is kind of a funny name. Cool Mac MILF Pimp.
Wow.
Either of you ever keep Emperor Tetras? I have kept purple Emperor Tetras. I got them from Rachel O'Leary. They were, hobbyist bred fish, super healthy when I got them. The most amazing fish. I had them in a planted 75-gallon. It was doing really, really well. And after having them for about a year, I made the most ultimate mistake you can make in fish keeping, probably one of the worst, and that is not quarantining some corridors that I got. I think, roughly around 12, and I wanted to split them up between my purple emperor tetra tank and my beta sorority that I had in my 125, and when I did that, I lost a lot of fish. But as far as the emperor tetras go, they're hardy, they're fun, they're awesome to watch zoom around, they're very pretty.
So to get back to the Sydney White question, the 207 is going to turn your tank over about 5 times per hour, meaning it's going to process enough to completely cycle every gallon of your aquarium through it 5 times per hour. And that's pretty good for a 40-gallon tank. Cichlids, See, this is the hard part about our job, because you say cichlids, and when you say cichlids, and please, Sydney, do not send in another super chat to talk about this, but you've already done 3. Cichlids could mean 26 imbunas, or it could mean 2 jewel cichlids or 2 convex cichlids. So it's a little difficult to know for sure. Let me just verify here. Yeah, all you did was say cichlids. Now, you did say South Americans, so that takes out the imbunas. But you understand what I'm saying. It could be 2 geophagus, or it could be 18 geophagus. So a lot of it's going to have to do with the load that you have on the tank, the fish that you have in there, and how many times you're wanting to turn it over. I think you'll probably be okay if it's like a fry tank and the fish are small. I think you'd probably be all right. But if it's, some big dogs, you might want to move that up to something a little stronger.
Simply Agricultural Aquatic says, hi guys, watching from San Diego, California. Love that place.
I wish I could go there.
I love San Diego. I like it over there.
I love that you love San Diego.
I like the weather. It's not humid and sticky and like it is here.
To go to San Diego to me would be the same reason why I would want to go to Charlotte or Kannapolis or Mooresville, where all the NASCAR drivers are. You go to those places because it's the home of NASCAR. I would go to San Diego because it's the home of skateboarding.
Don't you remember when I got off the plane that time?
You thought you were on with a professional skater.
I said, this guy, I know he has to be professional. He just looks like somebody that I've seen you watch before. He has to be this whoever it was I had thought it was. And you're like, maybe it was.
How am I supposed to know? He's a pro skater. That helps. Thanks.
He even had a skateboard.
I mean, San Diego is kind of the mecca of skateboarding, so that would not surprise me.
My favorite place that's right above San Diego is La Jolla. And I've said it so many times before. It's just something,
because of the seals.
I love the seals.
I would have loved it too.
They stink, but I love them.
Callan Shepard's great job. Shepard, not plural. Great job on the website. Absolutely stunning. Well, thank you. Thank you. That just makes me feel so good. Whitney Nealon says, I have a divided beta tank. Is this the one you read? Black sand, then white gravel in every other section. It's pretty.
Did they super chat too?
Yeah.
Oh.
I also heard the YouTube takes 30% of super chats. Is there another way that we can send you money where you get more of it? That is a really good point. And I've actually, I'm not going to say who, because it doesn't really matter, but there was a friend YouTuber that was going through a hard time a while back, and I thought the exact same thing. I wanted to give a super chat, and I didn't. I sent it to him by way of PayPal instead, because they take like 3% and YouTube takes 30%. But here's what I would say, Whitney. We're fine. It's okay.
We appreciate that you asked, though. It's super sweet.
It is. If you are really looking for ways to support us, go on our website and order something from there. That way you're at least getting something for it. Hopefully you live in the United States. Your currency says $, so I'm assuming you do. That's the absolute best way to support us. Other than that, you ain't got to worry about it. It's going to be fine. Trust me. But thank you for your concern. That's very, very sweet. Greg Witt just placed another order. Thanks. Okay, just placed another order. Thanks, Purigen. Like, I'm going to be Ron Burgundy. Purigen?
Speaking of Purigen.
Let me find out. Greg Witt.
Speaking of Purigen, I was lurking on Bob's stream the other night, and I think he said something about, well, John probably has a video about Purigen. And then I thought, I don't think you do.
I don't. I have mentioned it in several videos. I have Purigen in that tank right there. I have Purigen in that tank behind you. It is a product that I use. I've used it a lot. And it's something, let me tell you this, Greg, if you're asking, is Purigen good? Because I can't find your order. maybe if I actually went to the back end of our website, maybe I could find it easier. If you're asking if Purigen is a good product, this ought to tell you something. I do not promote Purigen. It's not like we've done a lot of videos about it and stuff like that. Like I said, I've mentioned it in a couple of videos. We can't keep it on the website. As soon as it goes up, people buy it. So that's got to tell you something. I don't see your order. Maybe it just hasn't, for whatever reason, gone through, or maybe it's under a name that's not Greg Witt. Either way, it doesn't matter. Or maybe you placed it somewhere else. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Purigen is I've never heard anybody say bad things about Purigen. And if the fact that we cannot keep it on the website, if that doesn't tell you something, I mean, numbers, they just don't lie.
We sell a lot of Purigen.
Particularly the little packs, little individually bagged packs. Those I could buy 1,000 at a time and we'd sell them in a week. It's ridiculous how fast they sell. So and that's without us pushing it.
Catwoman VA said, I had a plane layover in San Diego and got to see a glimpse of my dad's old carrier, the Midway. That's so cool.
Wow, the Midway.
That's really awesome.
David was talking about that. He went there. I mean, that's a famous ship.
He was stationed right over there, so yeah I guess he would have.
Grayson Coker, I hope. Do you think the more peaceful barbs like melon barbs or snakeskin barbs would nip at an angelfish if they were kept in a proper school of 8 to 10? I'm terrified to try it. I wouldn't try it unless you have a plan B. And hopefully that plan B would not be to take them back to the fish store. I mean, if you have the ability, great example, we've got multiple tanks here and we know the inventory that we have in all of our tanks. When something went wrong downstairs and we had my favorite African cichlid in my 240 get beat up, had a damaged eye, we moved fish up to my 29, freeing that tank up and put him in there so that he can recover in there. If you have a plan B, then go for it. The word barb does not automatically mean they're going to be fin nippers, but you just never know. So plan B would be critical. And putting them in a school certainly will help, but you just don't know. Those dangly things on the angels are just so tempting. Oh, yeah. For fish when they're swimming by.
It's like, you got to be careful if you have like a longfin beta and stick it in a community tank. So same thing. EddieSavory.com asks, he says, can you tell us about how to care for the yellow labs? Man, they are awesome, but I've never kept cichlids besides angels and I'm super intimidated. Yellow labs are probably the best one to start with.
Could not agree more.
They are not hard at all. You do want to make sure your water parameters are good. Your pH, a higher pH is best. If you have a low pH, you want to try to do something more natural, like your crushed coral, stuff like that. But they're pretty easy. You just want to give them caves or rocks, a lot of different rocks and places for them to hide because they love to go and just kind of hide and play peekaboo. Especially too, if you have a huge amount of them, they'll breed. So it gives the babies places to hide. Sometimes they don't make it though. They all get eaten. But yellow labs are, in my opinion, the best to start with.
They are easy to keep. They don't get huge. They are aggressive eaters. They're not overly aggressive fish, although some of them can break bad.
They're really good with each other.
We have not had one aggression issue in that tank at all. And I don't think we've ever had an aggression issue with a single yellow lab we've ever had.
Right.
But you know, Walter White was a chemistry teacher in high school before he broke bad. Everybody can break bad.
The only time I think they've ever had an aggressive nature is to a weak one. And when I say that, sometimes people will take so there may be a female that's holding, and she's been holding for a very long time, and, you know, she can't eat for a few weeks. and some people will strip them and they'll just immediately throw them right back in there, or they'll be in a 10-gallon, like mine. I had mine in a 10-gallon, a female, and I let her naturally spit out her fry, but I also made sure she ate a lot and got her strength back up before I threw her back in there with all of the other ones. If you stick one right back in there after they've not ate for 3 weeks, they're going to be fighting for food. They're going to be weak. They're easily bullied, and they could just stress out and die. So that would be when I would worry about aggression.
Donna Horton just said, John, we lost another albino tiger, Oscar.
Aw.
We don't know why. He was happy-go-lucky, greeting you, to gone.
Aw.
You know, that's a horrible
That's
story,
sad.
and that's something we've dealt with before. The story that I've told before, which is, it was bizarre. I've never seen anything like it. When we had our shop, the African cichlid tank, the original 240 that we had, which was the same dimensions as this tank, except a foot less deep. It was 8 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. This one's 8 by 2 by 3, 3 feet deep front to back. So it was right at the front of the store. And so every time people walked in the store, they would all go nuts, and people would be like, oh, wow. And it was a fun thing. So I happened to be up at the store. Customers came in. Fish were going bananas, and they were like, oh, look, that's wild. We talked about the fish for a little bit, and they were looking at them, and they were asking, what's that? What's that? And we're talking about all of the fish. And they said, do you have this particular fish? And I said, you know, I think I do. Let me go see. I walked to the back of the store, checked a tank that I thought these fish were in. They were. I walked back up to the front. Our polystigma, dead. And it was a fish that I remembered seeing going crazy with all the other fish. Like 1 second, everything's fine. Next minute, it's not fine anymore. And you know what? You can kill yourself trying to figure out what caused it, and you'll just never know. I mean, it's terrible, but
it's sad, but you don't always get the answer to why they pass.
Taylor Hawkins just a few days ago, everything seemed fine, and then 1 minute later, everything's not fine anymore. I mean, I know that's using a human analogy, but that's, you know, that is the unfortunate part of this hobby. Don't beat yourself up over it. And I hate to hear that about Oscars. Leslie Perry with $20. Good grief, as if she doesn't support us enough. Here's some cash for cat food, but I want you to feed it to your possum.
I do. I feed Frank cat food. Like, well, what happens is I feed the cats cat food first, and then Frank comes along, and
Cleans it all up.
I refill it, you know, with another, you know, serving of cat food. He eats it, but then I give him grapes because he loves grapes. So he gets that as like a dessert.
I'm really looking forward to being able to do that in a house that we don't have neighbors. Like when you walk out of our house, our new place, you cannot, there's somebody right across the street. But other than that, you can't see neighbors. I mean, they're way down there. And I like that because
our neighbors think I'm crazy.
And that's what I'm saying.
They think I'm crazy. I'll be out there at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, turn the light on, go out there because I saw a couple raccoons playing on our porch, you know, and, you know, whatever. I just want to go out and meet everybody. And my neighbors have to think I'm crazy because I talk to them. I'll go out, and if it's a cat, I'm like, here, kitty, kitty, here, meow, meow, and they'll talk back sometimes, and that's when I know I got them, is when they talk back to me. But the possums still haven't figured out their language. I'm like, possum, possum. So I know my neighbors they think I'm nuts. I already know.
And our neighbors are wonderful. Don't misunderstand what I was saying. I adore our neighbors, but what I'm saying is I feel bad for them that we are attracting all this wildlife to our house. Possums and birds and raccoons and all the cats and foxes.
I named him King George High School. That was the mascot for my kids' high school. The King George High School
Still
mascot was foxes. Yeah.
Still have one in there.
I named the fox that came to our door at King George High School.
Got a lot of R.I.P. Taylor Hawkins, including great drummer from Sydney White. Again, Foo Fighters won't be the same without him. Don't forget, he was also the touring drummer for Alanis Morissette. Don't forget that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Taylor Hawkins, I've seen him live when I saw him with Alanis, and I never saw Foo Fighters, which breaks my heart, but did see him with Alanis, and yes, he was amazing, and I was very, very sad when I heard that. Yeah, that was a bummer, a big bummer to hear that. Wow, geez.
Regina Phalange said, I worry about Frank the Possum once you leave. I know, I worry about him too. John said I can't trap him though.
I mean, come on. Let's not be ridiculous. Henry Chavez, hello, recently had a female blood parrot mate with a Midas cichlid. They laid eggs. Any advice you can give? I read methylene blue helps with the eggs. I've also read that blood parrots will not breed. Like, it will not, they will not be fertile eggs. But I could be wrong. I mean, I guess what I've heard is male blood parrots are sterile. That doesn't mean the females are, but I don't know. I don't know anyone who has ever successfully bred blood parrots with anything else. Oh. So, yeah, methylene blue is a great way. It's basically sterilizing the eggs.
I used it with the angel eggs that time, and it worked very well.
Yeah, Henry, you're not going to want to do that in your main tank, though, because methylene blue turns your aquarium dark blue. It stains your silicone. That's why I like tanks with black silicone. I don't even know why I just said that, because I haven't put methylene blue in these tanks ever, but I'm saying a good excuse to get black silicone. But yeah, if you're going to do that, what most people do, if they're trying to save eggs with methylene blue, is they remove the eggs, put them into a separate tank, and treat that tank with methylene blue. Right. So I wouldn't do it in your main tank. And I don't know, here's what I would do. See what happens. And if you start seeing some little fishies swimming around, maybe they don't make it, but you see them, then you need to go into hyperdrive next time they spawn. They'll do it again real fast.
Oh, they will.
And then you can try to save that one. But I think, unfortunately, it's probably not going to work out. So Douglas Korb said, best cure for damaged cloudy eye. It's a green terror. Go. What did you do for my guy downstairs?
What I did with yours is I stuck him in a quarantine tank, and I used very clean water, salt, aquarium salt, and that's how I've been treating it.
And there's a very good likelihood, Douglas, unfortunately, that it's never going to not be cloudy again. I don't know. I guess there are...
I've used medications before, and it's the same outcome.
I guess it doesn't always mean the fish is going to lose the eye, but it's probably a permanent thing. I have not found the miracle cure for that.
It's not killed them.
No.
It just, their eye is not as nice looking anymore.
Whipsworld says, it's Family Thursday, so regulated to watching without sound, so I don't know what we're talking about, but here's my take my money. I'll figure it out later. Whip, do we need to switch nights and start not interfering with your family night? I mean, geez.
Well, he's part of the members only stream, so wait, yeah. I think, he's been coming in, and you know what? I've been having a lot of fun with the members only streams.
They're a good time.
They really are. It's fun.
And the members know a whole lot more than y'all do about what's going on with our new place too. Just saying.
It's fun.
I found out something really cool yesterday, as a matter of fact. I fell down a rabbit hole on YouTube. I don't know how this happened, but I fell down a rabbit hole watching Dave Portnoy do his One Bite pizza reviews. I'm a pizza fanatic.
Oh boy.
And
One Bite.
He's a guy that travels. If you don't know who Dave Portnoy is, you either love him or hate him. He's a sports guy. He owns Barstool Sports.
Oh, that guy.
He travels all around the world And he always goes and gets pizza, and he reviews them in videos, and it's funny. He's kind of a raunchy Boston kind of a tough guy, and he's very very blunt with his reviews of pizzas. And he did a review of the pizza place that Whips World bought the pizza for me in Chicago from, that I ate at Aquashella.
That's so cool.
So that was fun. And I thought it was the right one, but I didn't know for sure until yesterday's members only stream, and he reminded me of that. So
that's awesome. Only Oscar says, Oscar the beta is doing great. My new love. Aw, I'm so glad to hear that. I love hearing happy stories.
The next best thing to having an Oscar is buying another type of fish and naming it Oscar. I love it. Big Snack Pack sent in a $1 super chat. Thank you so much for that, my friend. Leo209 came in again. The website looks amazing. When will you get more of the beta logs back in stock? I sure would love to answer that question. I was looking for them today, and nobody has them. So as soon as I can get them, that's when they'll be back on the site. It's very frustrating. We deal with a lot of distributors, and they're all out. ZoomEd is a real problem right now. We love ZoomEd, but I'm saying getting their products is very, very difficult right now. So,
Oink Master Supreme Forever, hello, says, I might have gotten these assassin snails by accident, but I might be an assassin grandma soon. That's awesome. I love snails. I love snails. All snails. I love them all.
We are some of those few people that don't really have a problem with snails populating our aquariums. I love them too.
I do too.
Maybe someday we'll start selling them. Why not? We're going to be overrun with them. Spinster Sister said, may I sponsor Nemo 11 until I can buy her? Unfortunately, that is not something that we do. Sponsor,
that's sweet.
The reason why, I'm going to tell you the reason why we can't do that is because it would become overwhelming. It would be, we would have to have a whole section. The second we started allowing that to be a thing, we would have a whole section of betas that are on hold for people. And you're taking care of them, feeding them, doing that whole thing. And it's really cool to offer to pay for a house sitting of the betas, but it's just something we don't have the manpower to be able to do something like that. And again, once we start doing that kind of thing, it would snowball out of control really, really fast. So unfortunately, whenever anybody asks us that, we have to say no. But thanks for asking.
Thomas Hudgens asks, are you going to open a store in North Carolina? Yeah. But probably not. I mean...
What? Please, go on.
I mean, I wish we could, but most likely not. I would like to, but I don't think we're going to.
Somebody's going to... You can take clips from live streams, Somebody's going to take that clip.
That's okay.
Did anybody hear? KG Tropicals is opening a store. Lisa said it. No.
It's okay.
The...
Because you never know. One day we might.
No, we may not. The building that we are putting our betas in, and hopefully we will be streaming in, and we will have all of our aquariums in, used to be a store. Mm-hmm. And I think that there are going to be people that are going to think that we're opening a store, because they're going to hear us in videos say, yeah, so over in the store, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's really going to confuse people, but we're not opening a store. We're not capable of doing that.
Technically, we will have an old store.
And we do have a store. It's just an online store. So.
Well, it does have a different address, too.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Hassani Powell, you both are awesome. No, we're not. You are. Aww. I switched to a Reef tank. Oh, boy.
Cool.
But you both gave me a wealth of knowledge. By the way, I think of you both when I see betas and cichlids.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Hassani, you're going to want to watch this Sunday's video.
Oh, yeah.
This Sunday's video that is uploading is a lot of fun. And I got to share this picture with everybody. It's going to be in the video, but you people are special because you're here on the live stream with us. Jake finally sent me some pictures. I have Sunday's video is going to be one of a two-part collaboration between myself. I say me because Lisa's not in the video. Sorry. Myself and Jake Adams from Reef Builders. He's a guy I met in Dallas. He is awesome. He's a reef guy, and he's an amazing human being. He's awesome, and has a really, really cool YouTube channel. I think he just broke 100,000, or maybe he's coming close. Let me check that real quick. I have to check it because I don't want to. Oops. Hey, John, it helps if you type it in right. It's so fun to be able to just freely check things. It is exactly 100,000 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
So I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate Jake from Reef Builders. I think he's on a plane right now. My video is the top 10 reasons why I think you should get a freshwater tank instead of a saltwater tank. And then the rebuttal video will be done by Jake. It's uploading at the exact same time as mine, where he wants to convince you to get a saltwater tank as opposed to freshwater. And I asked him if he could send me pictures of his costume that he wore in Dallas.
Oh, Bob Ross.
And he did. And here it is. Hopefully it doesn't. Oh, that's perfect. It's perfect size. This is cute. There we go. Now, what you can't see in that picture is Jake he's not a big man and like thick, but he's very tall. He's 6'5". And so when you add, he's like Fletch. When you add the afro, he's 7'1". So he was walking around with that afro all day at Aquashella because it was Halloween. And he looked like a giant because the afro was so big. Did I say the name of the movie that I just referenced? Somebody in the chat, let me know. He's I think it says 6'3", but with the afro 6'7" or something like that. What movie is that in reference to? Somebody help me out here. I know it. It's a classic. One of the best movies ever made.
Does it have to do with Pulp Fiction?
No. Pulp Fiction is
know.
Also one of the best best movies ever made. But yeah, the collaboration with Jake is awesome. I got to be honest, I have not seen Jake's video. He's seen mine, but I have not seen his yet. Hopefully he wasn't too brutal, because let's just say I said a couple things in that video that may they may upset a few people in the saltwater side.
Uh-oh.
But I hope they watch the entire video and then they will see that it is it's all done in fun. It's not me being mean. So let me do a better job with that movie reference because nobody's getting it. I think everybody's... There it is. Paul Martin got it because Paul Martin's a genius. It's Fletch. Yes. When Fletch is dreaming and he sees himself being interviewed playing for the Lakers on the news, and he has the afro and he says, I don't know if it's 6'3", but the news broadcaster says something along the lines of 6'3", but with the afro he's 6'7" or something like that. That's what I was referencing when I was talking about Jake. But anyway, yeah, watch the video on Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're still looking. Trey Grissett. Hi, all. I have a moderate case of Hydra in my planted tank. How can I get rid of it? I stopped all feeding for 5 days now. How long until the die-off? That is above my pay grade. I don't think either one of us are familiar with Hydra, are we? Other than the organization in the Avengers in the Captain America series. Wow, Trey, I am so sorry. I can't make something up when it comes to that. Plants are something that her and I have struggled with for a very, very long time.
But we're getting better now.
Yeah,
I've had to trim my tank back twice now, and today so much.
Mine is thriving, and a lot of times don't even turn the light on, just from the light in the room. It's thriving.
And you've never trimmed yours, but mine has been it's insane how much. I had to cut it back several times. I've even started little areas in other tanks with these plants because I don't want to throw them away.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, Trey. I hate that. I mean, I do not claim to know everything. And there's certain things that I've just never dealt with, and that's something I've never had to deal with. So I feel terrible. If I could refund the super chat, I would do it in a heartbeat. But unfortunately, I can't. Junk Shop Library. Cool name.
I like.
Garami's buddy abruptly died, and he's acting weird, looking for him constantly. Want to help? Do Garamis tend to acclimate well to new tank mates? I've never known it to be a problem, but I know exactly what you're talking about, and that is a definite fact. I've had that happen twice, where you've got a team, and one dies, and the other one's not that far behind. It is a strange thing, but it happens. I had it happen with arowanas, and I had it happen with stingrays. And it's bizarre. Like a week later, boom, the other one's dead. And of course, with my arowana, the first one jumped out of the tank. I mean, didn't really need to do a whole lot of checking of the water on that one. But with the stingrays, I had one just die out of nowhere, like we were talking about earlier. And so instinctively, like I'm sure all of you would do too, immediately I go to testing the water, checking it, doing water changes, doing all of that, and nothing appears to be wrong. And then a week later, boom, second one dead. So, I think it's a good idea to try to get something in there to occupy that Garami's feelings. And I've not really, Garamis, they can be like betas. They can be super happy with their tank mates, or they can be like, oh, hell no. You just don't know. But you'll probably be okay.
I want to do my poll real quick. I'm going to do last week's poll, if you all don't mind.
We got 18 minutes, so go right ahead.
I'll make it a quick one. All right, so last week's poll, the question was, what's the most you've ever spent on a single fish? I didn't say on all your fish at one time, a single fish. 22,000 votes, 441 likes, and 231 comments.
Did you say 22,000 votes?
Yes.
Wow.
So the options were $10 or less, $10 to $50, $50 to $100, or over $100. And the one that was chosen the most, 50% of the votes were $10 to $50 was the most someone has spent on a single fish. That actually sounds right. 24% of people said $10 or less. 14% of people said 50 to 100. And 12% of people said over $100. Those must be my discus friends.
I'm pretty sure Zen Ginger wants you to be a stripper.
Oh.
She said, get on the pole, Lisa.
Oh, Zenny. So I'll read a couple comments off. I got one from, hold on here. Eric Ortiz says, I'm really into discus and they aren't cheap. I've paid $80 each for some nice ones. That's actually a really good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Oreo. I picked that one because you like Oreos. Blue Oreo said, wouldn't be considered a fish, but rather an amphibian. I got a great crested newt that was $85. Wow. Jaded Sanctuary said, most was my premium snowflake clownfish, $92. I love her. She's beautiful. And Michael Martinez said, I don't remember specific, but my Severn was $30-ish, and my old dragon scale beta was $20. So there we go. Thank you for participating in my polls.
So here's an idea for a future poll that somebody will steal and put it on their channel.
Well, don't say it. Write it down.
I'm going to forget it, so you need to ask me. But yeah, I won't even comment because it'll give it away. But But yeah, okay, let me get to this real quick because we've only got 15 minutes left. Y'all are crazy tonight.
But can I just show one of my new plants? It's my rabbit fern. Some people call it a squirrel foot fern, and it's really super cute. I just wanted to show you that.
She's been panicking, like, I didn't have a plant of the week today.
Oh,
it's
no,
adorable.
but I have to do this. You know what? It kind of reminds me of cilantro. I have a cilantro plant, shocker, and I grow it so that I can have fresh cilantro in my food. So I think it's super cute, and it can like spread out to be like 5 feet. It spreads out like 5 feet, and it gets as tall as 10 inches. So, anyways. There you go. It's found in a lot of like shady areas under trees and stuff outside too. So you could just dig it up and put it in a pot and take it in.
There you go. Eddie'sSavory.com sounds delicious. Thank you for answering my question about the yellow labs. If you have a video on them, I will look for it. We talk about yellow labs in a lot of videos. Some of the early videos were exclusively African cichlids, and some of those were exclusively betas. So yeah, you'll definitely find them. And I mean, I've got some recently from setting up that tank right there. So yeah, you'll have very little problems if you keep yellow labs because they're easy.
Yep.
Black Koi Records, here's to show support once again. KGT, thanks for the years of entertainment and experience. I have one question. Do you ever look back and realize a colossal amount of people view, he said Coliseum, and I don't think that was a typo, amount of people view your vids and it blows you away? Yes. Yes, 100%. And that's something that is mind-boggling. Something that we did, you know, YouTube does this thing in the analytics. Sometimes they'll pop up a video and it'll say, this video is getting a lot of traction, and it's one from 6 years ago. And I've had that happen before, and I don't even remember making the video. It's like, what? That is absolutely a brain explosion moment. And it's just amazing. You know, they never go away. The videos are there forever. And, you know, we make our living on YouTube. We've kept no secret about that. And the interesting thing about it is probably 70% of our income is from older videos, like videos that we made a long time ago. The accumulate, what's the word I'm looking for? The cumulative number of all of those videos, all of them together, people viewing our catalog from back in the day, is what provides us with most of our income. So believe me, Black Koi Records, every day I'm like, whoa, it's crazy. I mean, how lucky are we? Luckier than Will Smith right now, even though we don't have his money.
Stop. There goes all of our people watching.
I love Will Smith as an actor.
I'm sure people are really tired of hearing about that.
I agree. Tyler Kotzma, hope I'm saying that right, is 220 gallon good for 3 Oscars and a common pleco. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know how many 75 gallon tanks are out there with 3 Oscars in it? I bet you look, Tyler, there are 36,314 people watching this right now, and I bet you some of them people have 3 Oscars in a 75-gallon tank. So putting them in a 220, you are good to go, and I commend you for that because you're doing way better than most.
Can I just interrupt you for just 1 second?
We have 11 minutes. I've got like 25 left to do.
Oh, I really have to show this other plant that I got because I am so excited about it. This is another plant that I got that I never had, and I thought it was super cute. If you look at it, it's like, it almost looks variegated, but it's not. It's just a certain type of fern. It's a cretin brake fern, something like that.
The tab's right there. Read it.
I probably, no, it doesn't say it. I did research on it. That's how I know. I don't just read the, you never have, I mean, I would never believe everything that I read on one of these things that you get from Walmart. It just says fern. You know how many ferns there are? Anyways, this is a cretin brake fern. And it gets to be, I believe, 2.5 feet tall, and it spreads out a little bit. but I think 5 feet. Yeah, something like that. So it gets pretty big. But anyways, I thought it was super cute, so I picked this one up too. I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
All right, Fish Fan 20 gallon long. Just curious, how long does it take for a guppy fry takes to be big enough? I don't know if I read that wrong. It's getting late to be out in a community tank. My toddler guppy gave birth to 2 fry.
Aww.
They grow way faster than you think they do, particularly if you keep them in a super clean tank and you're feeding them, 2-3 times a day. They'll grow really, really fast. I want to say, and I could be wrong, but I want to say even 4 to 5 months. I'm going to tell you what to do. It's a long video, but it is an amazing video on the Aquarium Co-op channel. Go to the tour that he did of the farm in Israel that was breeding guppies. I remember the guy saying it in that video, 4 months is when they're ready to sell. It was either 4 or 6 months. I don't remember for sure, but yeah, check that video out. It's faster than you think if they're in the right environment and they're fed properly and all that kind of stuff. Kevin Morley, I'm sorry, I have to go through these quick. Thank you. 2 months into the hobby and got my 3rd tank, not because I have MTS, but because my Mollies, the Crazy 88s, were a little too aggressive with my beta. Moved them to their own tank and all is good. See, that's what happens. That's another way we end up with MTS. It could be that we just want fish that we can't put together, or you develop a problem and you have to get another tank to solve that problem. Hey, it's a good problem to have when you need to, when the result is getting another tank. That's a good problem to have. Kyle D, what's the smallest tank you would keep a group of yellow labs in? I mean, I should say 125, but 75.
I was going to say a 55, as long as, because they stay small.
Yeah, a 55 would be fine too. You put maybe 12 of them in there, you'll be good. But 75 is kind of maybe I won't get in as much trouble if I say that.
Right.
But yeah, 55, you'll be fine. Anything smaller than that, no. Unless they're fry. Which you're going to need a fry tank if you're going to keep yellow labs, because you'll have some. Paul Martin, I'm sure I missed it somewhere. With the new residents, will there be a dream pond build in the future? Greg Woodstock, where are you? Eric Triplett, where are you? I sure hope so.
Yes.
That's, Paul, that's been a dream of mine for a very, very long time. I have kept that no secret. And the glorious thing about moving to the coastal plains, we do not live on the beach. We ain't got that kind of money. But the entire property is basically sand. I'm going to struggle to grow grass. There's grass there now, but
we'll have plenty of substrate.
Yeah, but the entire property is, you can go down and scoop sand into your hand. It's kind of wild. So real easy digging. It's going to be a real easy pond to dig. So, I'm going to tell you this. Yes, there will be a dream pond, and it's going to be as fast as possible. I just don't know when that's going to be. So I've got friends in the industry. Maybe I might be able to get a little discount on a kit or something like that. I really, really like the kits that Aquascape has. I really like the kits that the Pond Digger has, the Helix systems. I would be thrilled with either one of those. And I'd also be thrilled if those guys came to help me build it. But anyway.
I would feel better about that too.
Greg goes everywhere. I mean, I know I'm not Shaquille O'Neal or Logan Paul, but, I'm not saying do it for free. Just come out and help me out. That's all. I have a cat named Oscar. Does that count? Whitney Nealon.
Cool.
Yes.
I
That's a
love that.
great name for a cat.
That is a great name. I have really cool names for my cats too. Carl, Baby Kitty, aka Meredith from Grey's Anatomy. Then there's Mama Cat, and her real name is Marla, because anyways, I won't get into that. And then there's Reno, but it used to be Rena. And then there's Honey.
But what is your nickname for Reno?
Bad, bad.
Bad, bad.
Bad, bad.
Reno, we thought was a girl until we found his, one time.
Then we found out he wasn't a girl.
And we got him and his mother from a friend of yours named a friend of ours.
I didn't get.
Well,
They
were in her yard.
She left them when she moved, and Mama Cat had an injured eye, and there was a bunch of babies, and I scooped them up and I took them to the vet and had something set up so that she could get her eye removed and get spayed and raise the kittens. And
anyway,
found
the
them
friend's
homes.
name was Sabrina, so I named her Rena, and then her turned out to be a boy, and we changed it to Reno. I got to get through these.
We
It's
have
too late.
taken in a lot of cats that people left.
Yeah, Tesla Killdozer, $5.73. Love the new website. My electric blue Acaras love to eat snails in my tanks. Shame. No, that's very common.
I mean, yeah.
Nick says 2 harlequins have white and stiff substance on their anal fins. Treat the whole tank or remove both fish and treat in a hospital tank. If you have an extra tank, I'd probably take them out and treat them in a hospital tank, because that doesn't sound like something that would be a contagious thing. I mean, stiff substance, that sounds like an injury kind of thing to me.
Yeah, I'm not
like
sure.
a tumor type thing or something.
Maybe, if we saw it and could visualize what it was, it'd be a little easier.
Yeah, diagnosing things for me, first of all, I'm not good at that either. But second of all, doing it just through text is very, very difficult. But yeah, if all of the other fish are completely fine, I would put them in a hospital tank and go that route. You'll be much better off. Whips World, I still don't know what the heck you're talking about. So tell the gang I said something funny and inspirational, and we'll call it even. There we go. That's funny.
He's awesome.
Super chatting, even though he can't even hear what we're saying. We could be talking so badly about him, although we never would.
No way.
Frankie Fish, $7.99 from Australia, I believe that is.
Cool.
Get to watch you in the daytime today, as I've got the day off. Replays at night just put me to sleep.
Aw.
John, you should do a calm podcast from Australia. I can put on that calming voice if you need me to, and I can help people go to sleep at night.
True, I fall right to sleep.
Shut up. I love podcasting. I'm the one that goes to sleep when you're talking. We go to bed. That's when she wants to talk. It's ridiculous.
Not always.
But I love podcasting. I'd love to do. I've had conversations with other YouTubers that you love about starting a podcast, multiples, and it's just something that never really works out. But I love podcasting. It'd be so much fun. I can tell you this: if I
just
ever
like to talk a lot.
I do. If I was ever going to start another podcast, it would not be about fish. I'm sorry, but it just wouldn't be. Kevin Morley, I'm planning on getting a 125-gallon tank for Oscars. Yay. Would 2 be pushing it, or could you do 2 with a Severum? Names would be Dude, Walter, and Donnie. I like it.
Oh, that's funny.
You'll be fine. 125 with... No, I mean... Yeah, you're not pushing it at all. You'll be perfectly fine. And again, doing way better than what most people do. I've said it a million times. I used to go into 10 houses a day. You have no idea how many Oscars I saw in 20-gallon tanks, 29-gallon tanks. They're out there. So you put them in a 125 gallons, you're doing a real good thing. Othie and Shauna, will y'all wish our daughter Grace good luck on her driving test tomorrow?
Ooh.
She loves y'all. Wait a minute.
Oh, good luck.
We've met them in person. They are not old enough to have a driving age daughter.
Aw.
I would have thought they were in their 20s.
Yeah.
Maybe they adopted.
These days, kids can take driving tests at
hey,
12.
Othie and Shauna, good for y'all, because
Yeah, y'all look young.
I thought y'all were in your 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose it could be. But anyway,
Aw.
yeah, y'all are doing good. And good luck, Grace.
Good luck. Good luck.
Very, very big day for you. Braden Richards, we have a grandchild named Braden. What's the best way to move an established aquarium? Do you have to tear it all down and rebuild it at a new location, or can you transport it intact? Keep up the great work. We've done it every single way and every way in between. If you're going a short distance, you didn't say how long it is. It doesn't really matter. let's say you have a 20 gallon and you want to lower the water down to about that low because it's manageable. I mean, usually a rather hefty person can carry a 20 gallon tank with that much water in it. We did that with 127 tanks when we moved from our house to the store. 10 gallon tanks, same thing. You know, you drain them halfway. You're carrying something that weighs 50 pounds. Yes, you have to be careful because it'll slosh around when you're driving. If there's fish in there, they could slosh right out of it. But you can definitely do it that way. I will not be doing that with this.
Oh, no.
Because even an inch of water in that will add probably 150 pounds to it. And it already weighs 750 bone dry. So,
yes.
Yeah. Jeff H. pooped on us.
Because that's what Jeff H. does.
Furloughs Aquatics made it finally, just did maintenance on 38 ball pythons.
Whoa.
And now working on bearded dragons, listening and lurking. Wow,
Aww.
Lisa would not like to be in that room right now.
Well,
Ball pythons are snakes.
I know, and I'm trying to be better at that because I'm not a fan of snakes, but they are a life, and I need to respect all life.
And they will perform a rather good service for us on our property in North Carolina.
I know, of the perimeter.
Here's the question you have been waiting for. Christopher Scott, Lisa, is that an MD Fish Tanks hoodie?
It is. It is. I love this. And I had been telling Mark for a while, I was like, I love that discus. I love the discus hoodie. So I finally got it. See? It's my favorite.
It is awesome.
Awesome.
Love it. Oh my goodness, it's 9:32. Ryan Johnson became a member. Welcome to the team. Money Grippin with the $1.99. Thank you so much for that. UPS are living the dream, $10 just because. Just because. You spoil us too much. You spoil us too much.
I saw her come in and I chatted hi real quick and she still sent a super chat.
We get spoiled way too much. And then Ryan Johnston didn't think that becoming a member was enough, decided to send a $3 fish bump pair.
Aw,
Thank you so
sweet.
much for that. And I believe, yes, I am completely caught up. And it's perfect timing because it is 9:33. It's time for me to play Fortnite.
And he will. And then, you know how he gets off of Fortnite? He says, I've got to go spend time with Lisa. I feel like I'm neglecting her. And then he gets off and he gets on YouTube.
I only say that so that she's like, oh. That's why I say that.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so thank you, everybody, for watching. And you definitely want to go check out Fish Room Fever because Thursday night is not over yet. And after Fish Room Fever is most likely, I'm going to say Rico Stand because Ed is recovering. Ed is recovering. He'll be recovering for the next few weeks. Chattanooga Ed. He had heart surgery and he had a pretty major surgery, so he's not streaming right now. And you know, if you want to show your support, if you even know who Chattanooga Ed is, which I know a lot of people do, if you want to show some support, go over to his channel and say, hey, I hope you feel better soon. But anyways, thank you, mods. You've done a wonderful job tonight. I appreciate every single one of you, and so does John. And there's a dog up here now. But have a wonderful night. And we'll see you Wednesday, members, and Thursday to everybody else.
Channel members, you're not going to want to miss the members only stream because I will have a clip of the new concrete floor. Yay! Isn't that going to be so exciting? Bye, everyone. Got to find the finish button.